Can they do the same in Toronto? Starting lineups are presented by BetMGM. Blue Jays featuring Vladimir Guerrero Jr., a .342 career average at Fenway Park. That is the highest among all active players, with a minimum of 120 plate appearances. 22-year-old Trey Savage will toe the rubber for the Blue Jays, and Patrick Sandoval will toe the rubber for the Red Sox. Sandoval, what an incredible story. Nearly 2 years out of Major League Baseball with injury trouble and setbacks galore, but the crafty lefty has found his way back.
Yeah, this guy's had good years. In 2021, he had nearly 10 strikeouts per 9, and what he does really well is he keeps the ball in the yard. So the Freedom Trail, this is him keeping this Red Sox quality starting pitching going, especially after the long time off and a new streak. Red Sox looking, after losing their first game in a long time, to get the things going again and keep this Toronto Blue Jays offense down. StatCast is powered by Google Cloud. To give you an idea of what Patrick Sandoval does really well, he spins it. The slider's an excellent pitch. Will throw his breakers. He doesn't have the same extension that some of the Red Sox lefties are used to, like a Jake Bennett or a Peyton Tolley. The fastball is going to be important, but how he spins the baseball tonight is going to be the biggest.
Sandoval, who made his season debut on July 9th, more than 2 years after his last Major League appearance. His last start on July 18th, an eventual 7-6 win for the Red Sox. Their 12th win during the 15-game winning streak. Went 5 innings, scattered 9 hits, 4 earned runs in that start. Ernie Clement, the All-Star, lead things off for Toronto. He's been one of the few offensive bright spots for this Blue Jays team that absolutely needs this series this weekend. Lights are up. A packed house at Fenway Park. Another sellout expected. The life has returned to this great ballpark. And Patrick Sandoval is ready to go. He'll work as he always does from the stretch. And he blows one by Ernie Clement to get the night underway.
Well, usually when you're coming back from injury, it takes several starts to start getting your rhythm and timing. So third start back for Sandoval, and we'll see what he's capable of doing tonight.
2 whiffs in the early going.
Already showed a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, then he pulls a string at 83 with the changeup. And Ernie is a very high swing percentage hitter and puts the ball in contact a lot.
As he does there, and he skips one off the glove of Sandoval, who has no play. If he lets that ball get through, it's probably easy work for Andrew Monasterio at short, but instead it's an infield hit.
It gives you an idea. Ernie Clement, when he comes into this game, he's striking out at a 10% clip. Very hard to strike out, very hard to walk, and I'm not sure if they're going to give him a hit or an error.
They're not. It'll be an E1. Here's Guerrero. Oh! It's just mystifying how bad it's gotten for Guerrero. Career low in average, below 700 with the OPS, still without a home run at home. As Guerrero smacks this the other way, but foul. The hard hit numbers for Guerrero haven't taken that much of a nosedive. But every time they think maybe he's starting to turn it around, maybe the swing's starting to get there, it just doesn't.
Hopefully this ballpark will get Guerrero going. I mean, he's too good. That's the thing, when you're watching Guerrero, he strikes out 13% of the time. He walks 10% of the time. It's just getting the ball in the air.
Still second on the team in runs batted in, but that also speaks to the lack of depth in this Toronto order. Guerrero flies one to left. No trouble for Jaron Duran in front of the monster. This is going to be the best part of our show, Spilly. Time for the weather report presented by Ricola. You can't get any better.
I mean, this weather is perfect. We were walking around the hotel today, everybody on the Freedom Trail, checking out, the history of this great city.
Fenway Park, Boston. It's just
can't beat it.
You can't beat it in the summertime, especially when the team is winning. This city comes to life, and it doesn't matter which team it is. Pats, Bees, C's, Sox.
I came here to visit when I was 15 years old. We took a family vacation. We did the Freedom Trail. We went up to Cooperstown. We came to Fenway Park. It's the highlight of my trip. And I never thought in a million years that I'd end up being in a World Series in 2007 here, playing on this field. We got swept.
I hate to chuckle, but
I mean, you saw me walking past. There's all these pictures of 07 World Series champs.
Yeah.
Rocky swept, and I was, thumbs down on all those pictures I saw.
Yeah, you were really unhappy with all those pictures in the press box. You see Clement's lead off first as Kazuma Okamoto fouls one back. Got a day off on Wednesday. He's been really scuffling since the All-Star break. 0 for 22. Trying to get him out of the streak, or maybe just tape him to the bench so that he doesn't pick up a bat.
Well, that was all Miles Straw, and then of course Dylan Cease gets involved. He doesn't want to share any oysters with them, but he's going to tie up his mouth. Tell him to zip it.
And realistically, we're talking about when Guerrero's not hitting, the team doesn't win. But it really showed when Okamoto began this slump. And the Blue Jays, since the All-Star break, by far the worst offensive team in baseball. From 2.5 games out of the wild card a week ago to 6 games out today. Going to get a challenge here from Connor Wong behind the plate. ABS challenge. Powered by T-Mobile. And Wong will get the strike and the strikeouts.
That's a huge swing of events for Okamoto and the Blue Jays because he's their main power threat. And now Connor Wong and this Red Sox staff, they're 52 of 93, so a little bit over 55% in getting calls right with the challenge system. Pretty good.
Bring up George Springer. As skips in the dirt, allows Clement to take second. Now allow us to give you a look at the Red Sox defense. Cedon Rafaela and Wilyer Abreu, the Gold Glovers in the outfield. Andrew Monasterio at short. Still without Trevor Story. Litany of injuries for this Red Sox team. That's what's made this run all the more impressive. There are still 11 guys on the injured list.
Well, one thing that, from an outfield defensive standpoint, Red Sox are elite. It was the infield defense that has tightened up a lot in the last month. And we go back to when Chad Tracy took over, this has been one of the best defensive units in baseball.
Roman Anthony's last game was May 4th. Trevor Story's last game was May 14th. Never mind the pitchers that have been out. Crochet, Ranger Suarez, who seemingly has been on the cusp of returning and has yet to be reactivated. Sandoval behind George Springer here, 3-0. With Clement dancing off second. It's a 4-pitch walk. And the Red Sox are among the league leaders, actually leading the American League in outs above average.
And a lot of that comes from the outfield. I mean, Cedon Rafaela is a top 5 wins above replacement player. He has 12 outs above average in center. Gold Glover last year. Duran's been good. Abreu is awesome in right field.
So here's Alejandro Kirk. And this will get by Wong. So a wild pitch that allowed Clement to take second, and now a passed ball that will allow both runners to move up 90 feet.
This is not clean Red Sox baseball. This is a fastball that just gets off the glove of Wong. That's it. That's a ball that he should have caught. So you have an error from Sandoval. You have a walk, a wild pitch, pass ball.
Now Kirk, can he do something with this opportunity?
Catcher challenge in the pitch.
Wong with another challenge here. Powered by T-Mobile. Just missed.
Call is confirmed. Boston has 1 challenge remaining.
And in the first inning, the Red Sox are down to 1 challenge. And this all as Sandoval has lost the strike zone. Wong nearly had that squib away. Toronto on the season. We know all their offensive numbers, and it's trickled down to runners in scoring position as well. 241 in the season with 2 outs. The Blue Jays hitting just 191 with runners in scoring position.
Well, this will be a big hit if Alejandro can come through and you get 2 runs in the first inning. It starts to help your offense, and certainly for Trey Savage coming in with the lead.
Sandoval scuffling early. And another 4-pitch walk. And the bases are loaded. I'll bring a mound visit from Andrew Bailey.
That's the thing that Andrew Bailey preaches more than anything, is to pound the strike zone and do not give up walks. This is a pitching staff with the Red Sox. If you go back to June 15th and you look at the quality start, so 6 innings, 3 earned runs or less, the Red Sox have been the best in baseball. And you had a feeling the way Craig Breslow put this team together. Craig was a pitcher. He understands pitching. This team was built on pitching and defense.
Sandoval only his 3rd start back after a 2-year process, returning to baseball after internal brace surgery on a torn UCL back in 2024. Davis Schneider, who just was recalled by the Blue Jays, returned to the lineup yesterday in a win in the series finale against the Tampa Bay Rays. Bases loaded, 2 out, 9 straight balls from Sandoval.
Wow.
Make it 10. And that's a borderline pitch where a challenge has already been used. Would have caught.
David Schneider, he's a perfect fit to have these games in Boston with a couple lefty starters. And the legend of Babe Schneider started here in Boston a couple years ago.
Ten straight. Finally, Sandoval gets a strike. Schneider 0 for his last 13 in major league at bats. Felt he got his timing back in AAA recently. Looks in his strike there at 95. And after working his way into a jam, both with his glove and with pitches out of the zone, Sandoval a strike away from getting out of it. And Schneider stays alive. This Red Sox rotation has been put together in piecemeal fashion with all their injuries. Jake Bennett's been a nice story. Peyton Tolley as well. And somehow they have found enough depth. Let's keep this run going. Another 2-2. Strike 3 called. Schneider frozen on a belt high pitch. Sandoval gets out of the jam unscathed. He walks the bases loaded and strands them all. The second best among active players. Trey Savage will toe the rubber for the Blue Jays. Bursting onto the scene, starting game 1 of the World Series. But it's been a long journey back from shoulder trouble this offseason. About a month delayed into making his season debut, and it's taken a little while for him to find a rhythm. They feel like he's turned a corner after scuffling to begin his season as he pours in a couple of strikes to the Red Sox leadoff man, Anthony Siegler. He's hit leadoff in 16 of the last 19 games for the Red Sox, though has yet to produce, at least from an average perspective, in that role.
Yeah, but he's brought a spark and a little bit of stability at the top of the lineup for the Red Sox.
Siegler, fly ball, right field, sending Miles Straw back, and it's gone! A leadoff homer for Anthony Siegler. And the Red Sox jump on top early.
Anthony with the 3rd career home run, and there's the energy he provides, like a human Red Bull. And he also clipped the slider from his Savage on a pitch that doesn't move the way a normal slider goes.
Right on cue, Spilly. You said he provides a spark. First career leadoff homer. A leadoff bud presented by Budweiser.
Just that slider didn't have any bite to it. It just sat right out in the middle. It's amazing how quick momentum turns. Blue Jays had bases loaded. You're looking for one hit. And just like that, took one swing and the Red Sox have the lead.
So down Rafaela strikes out on 3 pitches.
That's a big part of the yard.
Siegler was one of the 3 position players who came over in the deal sending Kyle Harrison, David Hamilton to the Milwaukee Brewers in the offseason. He, Andrew Monasterio, and Caleb Durbin are all in the lineup tonight for the Red Sox.
At first, that trade did not look good, especially with how well Kyle Harrison pitched.
There's Wilyer Abreu shooting one to left, but Schneider's underneath it. Trey Savage on the mound spilled the beans.
Well, for Trey Savage, he's still super unique because his release point is the highest in Major League Baseball. Boston, uncommon. Look for swing and miss tonight with him with that fastball, split finger slider combination. In time to fly, Jays are just trying to get back on track. Maybe a good quality start from Toronto will help kickstart some things for them.
They'll face Wilson Contreras. 4-time All-Star, having a career season, 3rd in the American League in OPS, top 5 in average. 22 homers, that's 2 away from a career high. He seems like he's been a perfect fit at Fenway Park and in this clubhouse.
Well, he brings an edge, and I love what Tricia said and how she's talked about, you know, his personality. It's a big personality. Plays with a lot of passion. He also doesn't put up with much.
Well, we saw that when he was involved in that skirmish with Washington Nationals.
I just saw the Nationals this last week, and you know, talking to people around the Nationals, it took Cade Cavalli some time to get over it. He did not like how it turned out.
Two zones.
I think both guys felt bad about it.
And Contreras both with the barking that was coming from Cavalli, but also with what was going on in the native Venezuela at the time. It was a tough time for him. This will float over the glove of Savage and become an infield hit for Contreras. How about that? And already Contreras diving headlong into first base has the uniform dirty.
Well, just the way the ball comes off the bat, 34 miles an hour, is probably one of the softest hits Contreras will ever have in his career on an actual swing. And Savage coming off the slope, you see he's tracking it, but just could not reach it with his glove.
That seemed to happen in slow motion.
Yeah, that whole play was in slow motion.
Yoshida takes a strike.
Yoshida's been raking during the last couple weeks.
He's essentially been playing for a job. He's played sparingly most of the season, splitting DH duties with Roman Gonzalez since returning from the IL. 342 with a couple of homers in the month of July, and dating back to the end of June. To your point, Spilly, hits in 11 of his last 14 games.
That's the thing with this Red Sox offense, is they're not going to outslug you. I mean, they now have 97 home runs. They have a home run differential, so they've been out homered by 5. Like I mentioned, I just saw the Nationals. Nationals have over 150 home runs on the year. This is the highest offense in baseball. That is not the Red Sox.
Chad Tracy said he had to be blunt with the group about that. They don't hit homers. So how else are you going to win? And especially during the period of time when Contreras was suspended, he said, you know, we had to double down on the idea of we got to bunt for hits, we got to move guys over, we got to do all the little small ball things, and because it was successful, he got buy-in. And the runner takes off here to the late steal. Contreras is in there, and he's shaken up at the end of the play. Diving in head first.
So Contreras goes with a delayed steal. The hop, you catch guys off guard, which is exactly what happened. But you got to look at his left hand and see if he jams it. Yeah, it looks like his thumb gets jammed straight into the bag.
No oven mitt to try and protect those digits. Oh, yeah. And right into the base. Into the leg of Ernie Clement. Jammed his left hand.
It's a perfect execution of a delayed steal. And you got to look at where he jams. It looks like it's pinky, maybe ring finger. Who knows?
Well, if we are to believe that this Red Sox team embodies some of the characteristics of their leading men, Caleb Durbin, similar situation. He had a dislocated pinky that they reset after a game, and instead of taking time to let it heal up and not worry about swelling, he was just like, I want to get right back in there.
I was there for it. It was in Colorado. He got picked off at first, and his pinky was pointing in the wrong direction. I was like, oh, that's gross. But this is a great story. I mean, a Division III athlete, undersized. You see him, you know, and the Red Sox have several players that are short in stature, but they've had great success in the history of the Red Sox with smaller players.
Dustin Pedroia is the name that comes to mind, and a couple of us were kicking around. There's so many similarities. The way that he conducts himself, Caleb Durbin. Washington University, St. Louis. Not exactly a baseball powerhouse. Get a pretty good education there, though, I'll tell you that. 14th round pick in the Atlanta Braves. Faced Savage on June 18th, and it was a great outing for Savage. 7 strong innings and then went out there for the 8th, gave up back-to-back homers. Turned into a no decision for you, Savage. Blue Jays wound up winning the game. They swept the Red Sox in that series. And it was looking like Toronto was starting to turn things around. Boy, how the script flipped for both teams. Ball and 2 strikes here to Durbin. And he gets a piece of this one.
Now, you heard Trisha talking about the small mechanical adjustment he made. He started the season with his stance open, closed it, and the simple fix, for anybody wondering, it just aligns your shoulder and hips back with the pitcher. So that means your barrel, your swing is more aligned consistently. A lot of times, swing changes they're not drastic. They're small. It's subtle.
Big shoes to fill. Alex Bregman moving on in the offseason. Durbin strikes out to end the inning, and the threat passes, but the Red Sox with a leadoff homer from Siegler have a 1-0 lead.
Reaching the World Series, the Blue Jays spent the offseason pushing their chips into the middle of the table, acquiring names like Dylan Cease, Tyler Rogers, and Okamoto. But now it looks like they might be sellers at the trade deadline. Take a look at some of the notable trade candidates they have on their team that you know other teams are drooling over the prospect of having. So with the trade deadline looming, I spoke with John Schneider about the situation that they're in, and he said, we know that this series is hugely important, but he said, here's the good news. We play very well in Boston, and he said Vladimir Guerrero Jr. also hits very, very well at Fenway. He also said that he feels like they played their cleanest game yesterday. But, of course, guys, you heard him say it in our meeting before the game. If we're going to get back on track these next couple weeks, our good players have to be good. And so far, throughout the start of the second half, guys, they just haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, no doubt, Trisha. This Blue Jays team that is 9 games under 500. By the way, I hear you may have an update on Wilson Contreras.
Yeah, he came over into the dugout and they were taping up his ring finger. So you see right now on his left hand, he's got that tape on it. And I looked at him and I said, Wilson, are you good? He goes, I'm fine. Todo bien, I'm fine, which obviously means all good in Spanish. So he seems to be fine, guys. We know how tough he is. We've seen his toughness over and over again throughout the years. Here he is sliding into second base, just jammed it a little bit, but he should be okay. He's looking at me and smiling and laughing right now too, because he knows I'm talking about him. He knows I'm talking about him.
Well, he's a gamer. But boy, has his personality been a perfect fit here, or what? Rounded up the middle by Dalton Varsho. Oh, Contreras stumbled. Varsho's going to be okay. And I think Wilson's going to be okay as well.
Wow, this is where Wilson Contreras is completely out of position. This is ground ball right to second. You'll watch Wilson's going to take off after it. He's already 5 steps too far. That's one where you have to know where your second baseman is, and as soon as it's hit, you just go straight to first. But you can appreciate the effort.
Yeah. Scored a single. It's been an uncomfortable night so far for Contreras. Varsho's aboard. Luis Arias fouls one straight back.
I was watching Will Middlebrooks next to us in the radio booth, and he was jumping out of the way, him and Will Fleming.
Mike Monaco was in perfect position to field that.
They were in perfect position to scream. We could hear him.
There they are.
Yeah. So you can't hear the audio, but Will Middlebrooks is screaming at a very high pitch.
I think he was trying to do his best to cover for Mike. And he's still saying, I would have had that the whole way. He's done such a wonderful job on Red Sox broadcast this year.
Well, get back to this Blue Jays offense, Alex. The thing that stands out, last year when we saw the Blue Jays They're a low strikeout rate team. They hit homers. They played great defense. This year, they are dead last in runs scored, on base percentage, and OPS.
It is startling how much of a drop-off there's been. And just every category. Last year led all of baseball in average with runners in scoring position. So it's not just overall that the numbers are down. Situational hitting has been dreadful at times. And since the All-Star break, seemingly it's gotten worse. Lost 3 of 4 to Tampa Bay, won the finale yesterday, but held to 2 runs or less in 5 of their first 7 games since the break.
And that's the part that's maddening for any team, and David Popkins, who's been there for a long time, hitting coach. There's no answer for it.
Arias fouls this off.
Because it's basically the same guys.
The one missing piece, and it's a big one, is Bo Bichette.
Sure,
but in free agency.
But Okamoto with 22 home runs, and he's made third base a much better defensive position for them, because I don't know where Bo Bichette was going to play. Second.
Ball and 2 strikes to Luis Arias, who's battling. And Sandoval gets the better of it. Change up that darts out of the zone. 1 gone.
That's his best pitch. He has 3 punch outs now. Change up, it looks like a strike, and then with that pronation, it allows that pitch to fade.
There's the 9-hole hitter, Miles Straw. The Blue Jays, who had the bases loaded in the first. Sandoval walked 2. Ernie Clement reached on an error. And they were unable to scratch across a run. Straw getting the start in right field tonight. 15th start of the year in right. Straw shoots this to right field. Abreu playing in. And he makes the catch.
One of the things with this Toronto Blue Jays, I mean, even a year ago we talked about it was the toughest team in baseball to strike out. They're still striking out. They're the 3rd hardest team in baseball this year to punch out, but it's the walk rate.
Yes.
Walk rate is below league average. They are 29th.
And by virtue of that, dead last in on base, dead last in OPS. Areas where they were both top 3 in baseball last year. Lineup turns over to Clement.
It almost sounds counterintuitive, but in a way, Toronto as a unit almost needs to swing less.
John Schneider put it in a way of trying to swing with more intent. They actually felt in some ways like they were just trying to put bat to ball and put it in play however they could without actually thinking about situationally, where should I go with this? How should I swing in this situation? Sandoval letting the pitch clock dwindle and decides to check on Varsho. StatCast powered by Google Cloud, looking at the out of the strike zone hits for Ernie Clement.
Well, not everybody can do what Erndog does, which is make contact with basically any single pitch. And this is the most out of the zone hits of anybody, 39. Well, that chase rate. It works until it doesn't.
See where Sandoval goes here. And Clement lines one off the glove and back to the glove of Monasterio. Monasterio juggling that line drive, but hangs on. Inning over. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV is presented by Goodyear and in part by Meineke, doing car care right. Glorious nights in the Fens. Packed house at Fenway Park in Boston. Red Sox and Blue Jays, start of a 3-game set. Jarren Duran to lead things off. Tough year for Duran. Just hasn't been able to get going. But even with his numbers, still driving in runs, 52 of them, second most on the team, and 13 in the last 6 games.
Here we go.
He's top 5 in the American League and runs batted in this month. The former All-Star Game MVP strikes out as Savage has his 3rd punch out. I'll bring up Andrew Monasterio, one of the acquisitions made by the Red Sox this offseason. A lot of moves made by this front office, and initially, Spilly, you were talking about it. It appeared that they weren't going to pay off.
I mean, you were thinking of the trade for Johan Oviedo, where they gave up the password for him, trading and adding Sonny Gray, getting Contreras, and then 14 games below 500, June 24th, it looked like Sonny Gray was going to get traded. Aroldis Chapman would get moved, possibly Contreras, and that thing is flipped on its head.
They were sharpening the pitchforks and then some.
And it was hard. I talked to Craig Breslow about that. It's not easy when you're in command of a team that has such a great following. As you walk onto the field outside the Red Sox clubhouse, there's a sign that says, "We play for championships." And then there's the line of division titles and championships won. That's the expectation here for Boston, not just from an organizational standpoint, but from the fan base.
They've gone through 3 general managers in the last decade. Shaken up the roster dramatically multiple times. Some would say at times overcorrecting. Monasterio lines one towards the corner and foul. The Red Sox, who last year ended a 3-year postseason drought, but even then it took a mid-season winning streak, 10 in a row, to put them in a position where they could make a late surge. And they were in a bit of a rebuild mode, or at least that was the narrative outside the organization after trading Rafi Devers. There were a lot of people who were unhappy that it was Alex Cora taking the fall, along with several others on the coaching staff.
But it is amazing what happens when you go through a little win streak, you get back on track. That's why an entire season's so unpredictable. 162 games.
Monasterio is fanned. 4 strikeouts in the early going for Savage. Well, the odds to make the postseason for this Red Sox team, again, a lot of the moves, great fanfare in the offseason, reaching that low water mark in late June. But they credit not only sticking with it, but some of the travel issues along the way that plagued them. This is fouled off by Connor Wong.
Yeah, they're now the show and go Sox.
Right.
I mean, they had the issue leaving Colorado where the plane broke. They get super late, 4-game series against the Yankees, sweep them. Then they don't have a plane. as they're going to play the Mets. Show and go, sweep that series against the Mets, no problem.
They landed at 5 a.m. before the Yankees series. They landed a little before 5 p.m. for a 7 o'clock game for the Mets series.
Oh, it's off.
Just off the corner. Justin Slayton, one of the relievers for the Red Sox, said a couple of the guys were saying they felt bad for the Mets in that series. Again, they had no idea how mad we were going into that game.
And sometimes anger is a great motivator.
Oh.
I don't recommend playing angry all the time, but there's a time and place for it.
Like anything, when you're in an experience like that, sometimes it brings the group together. Peyton Tolley said you spend 10 hours in an 8-foot tube with each other, you get a little closer. Savage trying to nibble around the outside corner. Instead, the count is run full here to the 9-hole hitter, Connor Wong.
Well, Savage, after the first inning, I mean, he's starting to rack up the punch outs. Last 3 batters have punched out.
Wong fouls it straight back.
Savage is such a unique pitcher. He has great extension. He also has the incredibly high release height. There's nobody that throws like him. There's nobody in the league. And even when last year, when he was going through the first couple starts, teams were wondering, it was like, can we even get the trajectory to mirror Savage? So most guys, they release the ball right around 5.5, 6 feet. Well, Savage is at 7.11, basically Justin Verlander.
As over the top as you can get. And another one. Savage strikes out the side. 5 of them through 2 innings.
Presented by Car Shield as we look at the Red Sox interim manager Chad Tracy. This is what makes him good. He's familiar with players. He's spent a lot of time in the minor league system with the Red Sox, managing over hundreds of games. Baseball is in his DNA. His dad, Jim Tracy, manager of mine, managed for the Rockies, for the Dodgers, and then he's excellent in communication, although his communication is a little bit different. Tracy communicates the way most players and most humans talk, via text. He has sent messages to this group multiple times in the last 2 months via text to make sure that the message was received by everybody at the same time.
Guerrero pops this up. Off first, Contreras will make the catch. A couple moments ago, Tricia caught up with Chad Tracy for our manager interview presented by Sage.
All right, let's talk about Sandoval. 2 walks and an error. He gets out of a bases-loaded jam. How much composure did that take from him?
Yeah, obviously the first inning was a little bit of a grind there, and then the important thing was the second inning he went back out and refound the zone. So he's in good shape now.
Monasterio flashing some leather. That was an impressive play. What'd you see?
Yeah, I think it hit him in the heel and just rolled out, and he was able to stay with it. So it was a good one to get us out of that inning.
Appreciate the time.
You got it.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Tricia, thank you. His communication style is very much in tune with the modern baseball player, Spilly. I think you, me, Tricia, we all got a sense of that when we met with him prior to the game. He mentioned all the time in the minor league system with the Red Sox in a coaching capacity. Spent yesterday's off day in Worcester getting inducted into the Woo Sox Hall of Fame.
Well, he's been a player. He also knows what guys have gone through. He's a former 3rd rounder out of Pepperdine.
On the ground from Okamoto, backing up Monasterio, and a step onto the outfield grass makes the play. Tricia, you have more?
Yeah, guys, you were talking about the texts that Chad Tracy sends his team. He says he does that a lot, but he said especially during the first half, he said, I need them to know I'm behind them. And he said, I knew it would turn eventually. So he sent them a handful of texts, and he said, you feel it when they need a word. They need to know that the manager isn't panicking. So basically, guys, his texts were just texts of encouragement and texts of belief in his group through that tough time in the first half, guys.
Well, it looks like he needs a massage on his neck.
One loss, and already we're back to being stressed. Split a doubleheader with the Orioles on Wednesday, which snapped that 15-game winning streak. George Springer at the plate. The Red Sox coming back from being the worst team in the American League in late June, in a playoff spot just a month later. Springer with a fly ball to left. Duran underneath it. And it's a 1-2-3 third for Sandoval. Only 8 pitches needed. Take you back to the first inning. Standout score presented by Adobe. Anthony Seigler, solo homer. His first career leadoff homer. Only the third home run of his young career. Trey Savage, we've marveled at the strikeouts. He has 5 of them in the first 2 innings, but homers have been an issue of late. 9 allowed the last 9 games. That includes the leadoff shot from Seigler.
That first batter, and he settled in nicely after. Seigler's interesting. He's ambidextrous. Was a former first-round draft pick by the Yankees as a catcher.
Not only ambidextrous, he could throw 80 miles an hour from both sides.
Yeah, so they have a story where he caught one day, and then he was in the minor leagues the next day as an outfielder, but as a left-handed outfielder.
Oh, 200.
Former first-round pick of the Yankees in 2018.
And they asked him, they were like, hey, would you ever be comfortable catching left-handed? He's like, no.
He's been a regular at second base since his recall. Burst onto the scene his first few games. On-base rate had declined the last couple, but has the lone run of the game so far. Out in front of the splitter from Savage, and he'll see a 2-2.
Oh no, you go.
And the count will run full. .52 pitches already for Savage.
Come here. Sit out. Time. Ball.
A lot of those pitches happen in the first inning.
3-2.
Payoff on the way. And Seigler smacks this the other way. Already a multi-hit night for Seigler. A couple moments ago, Trisha Whitaker caught up with John Schneider. Our manager interview is presented by Sage.
All right, Savage has locked it in after that solo home run. What are you seeing from him?
Good fastball, good stuff overall. Just a mistake there to Seigler on a slider, but Trey I think is in a much better spot than he was a couple weeks ago, delivery-wise, stuff-wise. Need him to have a quick inning here, kind of keep the pitch count down.
I know in the top of the first you would have liked to get something on that bases-loaded situation, but perhaps some signs of life from the offense.
Yeah, I think making Sandoval work, pitch counts getting up there. You got to get the big hit when you get a chance. So for now, just keep grinding, keep trying to get the pitch count up, and try to hit any mistakes he's going to give us. But you want to get those hits. I think everyone's trying a little bit too hard right now. You got to let it come to you.
John, we appreciate the time.
Thanks, Tricia.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Trisha. I think you can sense the frustration in John Schneider's voice, and it's come to a head in the last couple of weeks. Set on Rafaela here. Rafaela Drives this to left. It will clip the top of the wall, and it is a home run. That got out in a hurry. Ceddanne Rafaela with his 10th homer of the season. A 2-run shot to put the Red Sox up 3-0.
Now we'll have to take a look because it looks like the umpires are going to do a review to make sure it is a home run. It didn't clear the monster, but there is a yellow line.
The call on the field is a home run. This is a crew chief review of that decision.
There you go. So there's Adrian Johnson. It was Ramon de Jesus, the third base umpire, that called it. And it did look like it hit above the yellow line.
Replay review powered by Zoom. Here's
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. Home run.
That is a second home run hit tonight off Trey Savage. And it comes off the slider. So both home runs tonight have come off the slider. And Rafaela pointed out this is top 5 in the American League in wins above replacement. He's been excellent.
Home run ball continues to bite Trey Savage. Wilyer Abreu behind 0-2.
He's such a twitchy, explosive athlete. And if you're right-handed and you can pull off-speed pitches, no place rewards you more than Boston.
Abreu down on strikes. 6 punch-outs for you, Savage, but already a crooked number for Boston.
There's that fastball for you, Savage. You might not see as many sliders tonight. That's just a pitch that's not working for him. So you'll see a lot. I think you're going to see a lot more 4-seam fastballs, top of the zone with the split finger.
Pulled the string there on Contreras. Reached that mark every baseball player wants. 10 years of service time earlier this season. And he pops this up back of home plate. He'll reach the seats. Fourth career All-Star selection, replacing Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on the American League roster. Tricia mentioned it earlier when we were starting our broadcast that it was during the break where he told Red Sox management he's not going to waive his no trade. He wants to be part of this.
And this ballpark's built for him. I mean, if you're right-handed power and can pull the baseball in the air, you're going to put up some big power numbers. You just are.
And he goes chasing there for the second out. Tricia.
Yeah, guys, we did talk about that before the game because he recently told reporters, Wilson Contreras that is, that he wants to stay in Boston, and he told the Red Sox front office that. And I asked him pregame in our interview if he thrives here, and he said yes, absolutely. He said, I love this place. And what I loved about what he said the most, guys, he said, I'm built to play in an environment like this. I'm not ashamed to play with pressure, and I'm not ashamed when other teams boo me. He said they push me, they challenge me just like they did in the home run derby, and it's good for baseball,
yeah,
guys.
What a reception he got in Philadelphia during the derby as Kirk initiates an ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. He'll get the strike.
Call is overturned. Toronto has 2 challenges remaining.
And I think for a city that thrives on that kind of gritty personality, Contreras certainly knows how to whip this crowd into a frenzy. Masataka Yoshida here. Savage induces a whiff with the splitter.
You did hear John Schneider talking about mechanically for Savage in a much better spot is his outing in San Diego. He walked 7. He's had 2 outings this year where he's walked 7 hitters.
It's been fits and starts, no doubt, for Savage. An ERA above 5 over his last 8 starts. We talked about the home run ball. He had that outing against the Padres in mid-June where he walked 7 batters in just an inning and 2/3. Could not figure it out. He and John Schneider both said that unorthodox delivery was just out of whack. Yoshida's worked the count full here. And remember, still just 22 years of age, still has rookie status. Remember, in April of 2025, he hadn't been promoted from single A ball. Yoshida, hot shot, and it's caught on the line by Clement to his right to end the inning. Despite racking up 7 Ks, the home run ball, it's bitten Savage. Second of the night for the Sox. Rafaela goes deep. Tonight's odds, courtesy of BetMGM. Odds to win the American League East. Blue Jays are sinking fast. And the Red Sox, they're in the conversation.
It's amazing what 3 weeks can do.
Tampa Bay Rays 2 games up on the Yankees entering tonight. Yankees are in Philadelphia. Tampa Bay hosting Cleveland. Rays are up 5-1. The Yankees up 1-0 on the Phillies. Our other game on Apple TV. Alejandro Kirk goes the other way to lead off the 4th. Davis Schneider, who was up with the bases loaded in the 1st, struck out looking. A look at pitching decisions presented by Sage.
Yeah, this is a tough at bat for Davis Schneider. He just got recently recalled. He's supposed to be beating up lefties. The pitch he's going to regret is his 2-1 fastball right down Broadway. He took, fouls off another one, and then the changeup caught him looking.
Now 0 for his last 14 at the big league level. Has not been able to match the explosive start that he had to his career in 2023. Another year spending a good chunk of the season in AAA. When he first came up, jerseys were flying off the shelves. They couldn't keep him in stock.
I mean, he went off. He came to Boston, made his debut. The legend, like as Dan Schulman says, the legend of Babe Schneider.
Schneider, swinging bunt. Wong makes the call, throws to second, and they get the lead runner. Strong throw from Connor Wong on the money.
Now this is all about court awareness. Connor Wong knows that Alejandro Kirk is not a fast base runner. So he's going to take a risk. This is a big risk to try to throw down the second base, because if he's safe, yeah, first and second, nobody out. They barely get him out. I mean, normally you're just going to make the throw to first, take the out. Sandoval's like, hey, nice. Needed that.
Fielder's choice, 2-4.
Run.
Varsho now. Blue Jays have had the leadoff man reach in 3 of the first 4 innings. Nothing to show for it. Varsho, liner towards the gap, down for a hit. And Schneider will have to hold up at second as it's cut off nicely.
Watch Rafael in center field. This is where, I mean, he can play shortstop. They said if he played shortstop, he could possibly win a Gold Glove. Most center fielders are never going to try to backhand a baseball. They just won't. The glove's too big. In general, we want to come through the baseball with our glove face open. That is a skill set from a shortstop in center field. And that prevented Davis Schneider going first and third.
2024, his first full season, he played 82 games at short.
Yeah.
And then they moved him back to the outfield. And of course, has turned into tremendous center fielder. Winning a Gold Glove. Contreras makes the catch here. Foul out. 2 gone. Just into the heel of the glove.
When Contreras was first starting to play first base, when he vacated his catching, there were times a ball hit to him at first base, he would take his hat off like he was a catcher trying to.
Old habits die hard. Blue Jays again with traffic. They had 2 on and 1 out. And now the 9-hole hitter in Straw. Again, a year-over-year decline that is just inexplicable. Their performance with runners in scoring position led all of baseball in that category last season.
Run.
Straw just 3 for his last 23. Ball and a strike from Sandoval. And Straw lifts one to left field. Duran underneath it. Getting over. Blue Jays strand 2 more. They've stranded 6 tonight. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear. Alex Faust, Ryan Spilborghs, Trisha Whitaker here with you. Fenway Park in Boston. What a night for baseball. What a night to be alive in New England. Can't get any better than this.
It can't. It cannot.
3-0 Red Sox. Bottom 4. 6, 7, and 8 due up for Boston as they try to climb back into the race in the American League East. Who would have thought that to be a possibility earlier this year after Alex Cora was fired, after they bottomed out 14 games under. But it goes to show when you hear baseball players speak early in a season about platitudes like, oh, it's early, oh, it's a long season. This is why. But to borrow another baseball cliche, it's getting late early for the Blue Jays.
And that's going to be one of the hardest decisions for Mark Shapiro, Ross Atkins with what to do. I mean, you're probably better off just holding serve as long as you can. Because if you believe in your talent, it's going to come at some point. It has to. Problem that you have is you have a couple guys that are possible free agents next year where that makes it a market.
Durbin trying to lift this one down the line. Winds up in the seats.
And this trade deadline, in all the years that I've been covering all these trade deadlines, there's more teams that are unsure if they're a buyer or a seller.
Oh, never mind. It was a Fenway vendor.
Which means that if you're willing to trade, you should be able to, it should be a seller's market.
On the corner, strike 3. Durbin wants to challenge. Let's see if he is able to stay in there. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. It nips the corner.
Confirmed. Boston has no challenges.
And Boston is out of challenges. Durbin is rung up. 8 strikeouts for Savage. Time now for home field advantage presented by Zillow. Take a look at interim manager Chad Tracy. Red Sox were terrible at home, which magnified all the issues they were going through. That they were dreadful here made it that much worse.
Yeah, because on the road they're 29-21. They're 8 games over 500.
That low point, by the way, was right after they had been swept here by these Blue Jays on June 18th. Popped up, back of home plate by Duran, and out of play.
Obviously, when you're going through a tough stretch too, everybody's trying to figure out why are you so bad at home? You know, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa had a comment about it where he was like, "There's just a lot of people. When you're outside of Fenway and you're on the road, there's not as many people. You kind of get your work in."
More than most ballparks, the proximity of the fans, not only inside this stadium but also outside of it, where the players park their cars, there's nowhere to hide. Duran on one hop to first. Guerrero makes the flip to the covering Savage for the second out. Let's get an update, some of the action from around the league. Sierra Santos in the studio.
Off to Philly for our other game on Apple TV. Paul Goldschmidt leading off in the top of the 4th. A solo shot of Jesus Luzardo gives New York a 1-0 advantage. Cam Schlittler has racked up 11 punchies so far, guys. Alex and Philly, let's get back to you guys in Boston.
The Boston native, Cam Schlittler, proud Northeastern Husky. Right down the road here from Fenway Park. There's Monasterio.
I'm not sure if you've seen the Yankees from a starting rotation. They did. The return of Max Fried was this week. Garrett Cole's looking like Garrett Cole again. Their pitching staff, Yankees staff, is a bit of a wagon. With Schlittler and Ryan Weathers, Will Warren, can they find ways to score without Aaron Judge? And they're not sure when they're going to get Judge back.
Yeah, the timeline keeps getting pushed back further and further. Not getting the results back from imaging that they would have hoped for. And with a ribcage injury, it's not like rehabbing some other kind of injury. Whenever it heals, it heals. That's it.
That's why that when we showed the odds for the American League East, I don't know.
Is it as simple as, does Tampa Bay push all their chips in, knowing that they're still atop the division, playing well? And with all the advantages that the Trop has to offer?
I mean, if the Tigers start losing the next 2 weeks, I mean, somebody's going to try to get Tarek Skubal. And why not Tampa? Tampa they made an offer to Freddie Freeman years ago when he was a free agent. They were on the books. They had an offer for Shohei Ohtani.
Driven the other way and into right for a 2-out knock by Monasterio.
Again, another hit for Savage off his slider. That's been the pitch that is probably giving him a little bit of trouble. For Monasterio, that's living right.
Monasterio, of course, fly on the base paths. Only 2 steals on the year. Red Sox have 5 hits on the night. 3 have come against Savage's slider. 2 homers and that single just now from Monasterio. Connor Wong.
That split finger is just so nasty. When he throw 4-seam fastball with the great extension at the top of the zone, and then he can throw the split finger off of it.
Oh, 2. Not been able to use that slider comfortably. Wong starting at catcher with Carlos Narvaez off the bench today. Just off the corner with the fastball.
You can see Savage's misses are really small tonight with the fastball, just right off the edge.
This will be pitch number 90. Actually, that was number 91 for Savage. Looking for a 9th strikeout. Tie a season high. And Wong gets a piece.
Savage is just looking for a quick inning, but because of the foul balls, and a lot of times when you see foul balls, it's not with the Red Sox and trying to do that. It's just his stuff's hard to hit.
9 strikeouts his last start. And he has 9 tonight. But as you can tell by that body language, it's been a frustrating outing for Savage. 3-0 Red Sox.
On top of the green monster at the exact spot that Rafaela's home run hit and then fell back into the field before they rounded the bases. It's a beautiful view up here from the green monster of Fenway. We just watched the sunset over there. The moon is in full view and it is awesome. Let's talk about that home run by Rafaela real quick. He is very, very good at swinging at pitches out of the zone, and the thing is, that home run was a pitch outside of the strike zone. He ranks 2nd behind Ernie Clement in base hits out of the strike zone this season, and he was refreshingly honest with Boston reporters when he was asked about it. He said, "I know what the analytics say about chasing, but honestly," he said, "it's just how I play baseball. If I feel like I can put the barrel on the ball, I'm swinging." He said, "I've been a bad ball hitter my whole life. My teammates trust me to drive in runs, so I'm not going to change who I am just to draw a walk." Guys, I loved that. The honesty is great.
He's become a popular figure for a variety of reasons here, Tricia. Not only the spectacular plays he makes in the field, but coming up in clutch moments. Remember, had that game-winning extra base hit, walking things off for the Red Sox against the Tigers last September that sent them to the postseason. Clement pops this up. Not a lot of foul ground to work with for Wong, and another souvenir.
That's the one thing about hitters that chase outside the strike zone. It's their DNA. You can get guys to be a little bit better about it, but if you're a swing first hitter like an Ernie Clement, there's not a lot of coaching to get it out of your system.
Well, he's an aggressive hitter in some ways, maybe not all, like his idol, Andrew Jones, who's being inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame this weekend. World-class center fielder, also from Curacao. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Ernie Clement. Ground ball left side. Durbin gobbles it up on the first out. That home run still being talked about in the front row. Nearly a souvenir. It's actually a really cool thing the Red Sox have started doing with their fan club, Red Sox Nation. They pay a nominal membership fee, and then you're allowed into the ballpark early to some of the sections, including the monster seats. We were up here for visiting BPs. That caught Connor Wong off a foul ball from Guerrero. And Wong's going to take a couple of moments here to try and gather himself.
See where the foul ball catches him. Looked like his back leg.
Oh, it's the backswing from Guerrero that hit the forearm of Wong, and now the athletic trainer Brandon Henry is going to walk out and ask Connor if he's okay.
So he takes the foul ball off the leg, that hurts, and then that hurts even worse. Backswing to your wrist in a spot where it's not covered.
Wong's going to stay in the game. I'm starting to say, with the fans being allowed into the game early, visiting batting practice, I haven't heard heckling like that loud in a long time.
You should get a Wrigley Field for BP.
I've heard it there. I swear, it was echoing across the ballpark here today. They are in a good mood here in Boston. Understandably so. Trying to start a new streak. Guerrero smacks one to left onto the glove of Durbin. Duran will take it and fire in. Hard hit single for Guerrero.
Oh, we knew coming in, Guerrero's had really good success here at Fenway Park. Timing looks good. Barrel got through the zone, but it's just not elevated. It's on the ground. He still, I mean, when he strikes the baseball, he hits it hard.
The question is consistency for Guerrero, because when he has connected, it's been great, but at times this season has looked off balance. And you were digging into some of the video and some of the swings that Guerrero's had.
I mean, anytime that you're not performing at a high level, it's usually something off the field, an injury we don't know about, or there's a mechanical flaw.
Tyson Guerrero warming in the bullpen. Tyron, I believe, beg your pardon. Fly ball left field from Okamoto, and this will bounce off the monster. Thrown in, Okamoto will get a double out of a towering fly ball. Guerrero, though, unable to score. The Blue Jays are threatening once again. Second and third, one out.
This snaps an 0 for 24 streak for Okamoto. Fastball right down Broadway, elevated. I think Okamoto off the bat was hoping maybe it's going to fly out. Ends up hitting high off the wall. And Jared Duran, you'll watch Guerrero. He's not exactly sure if this is catchable, and then he has to take off.
Conference on the mound. You can tell in the dugout they're asking them to hold up the proceedings here.
Yeah, they're just trying to buy Guerrero a little bit more time to warm up.
Talk about Sandoval's journey back. Next pitch will be a season high for him. Number 77 of the night. Second and third, one out. George Springer, first pitch swinging. Big spot for Springer. Move back into the cleanup role. Four-time All-Star. Takes a fastball up and in.
Well, he hit his 300th career homer earlier in the year. I mean, his overall stat line is crazy for his career. 303 home runs.
Let's take you back to number 300 earlier this season, back on June 16th, right here.
That's a crazy feat.
On to Lansdowne Street, no less. Wow.
Batter's challenging the pitch.
Yeah, that was well low of the knees. And Springer is going to challenge and get this overturned.
Ball's overturned. Toronto has 2 challenges.
That's why the ABS system's been so important for Major League Baseball. Is for an at-bat like this, where you have 1 out, a chance to score, you can flip it back to get in another pitch and not go back with an empty at-bat.
Sandoval touching 97 there. Springer trying to catch up. Multi-hit games of 3 of his last 4. Extra base hits 2 of his last 3 games. What can he do here? Try to get the Blue Jays on the board. And it's a full count.
There's no question this is the last batter for Sandoval. Guerrero now is hot in the Red Sox bullpen.
Springer stays alive. Vladdy Jr. off third. Okamoto at second. And the 8th pitch of this at-bat.
This is the toughest pitch right here because 3-2. Springer hasn't been on the fastball. The best pitch for Sandoval is changeup. That'll speed up the bat.
Payoff. Springer pops it up. Foul ground. Wong, mask off, makes the catch. And still the Blue Jays are stymied.
I see Sandoval pumping his fist and a little bit of frustration because he wants to finish this at bat. This next hitter, a little 2-seam fastball inside, well located with the fastball, and beats Springer.
Sandoval will depart. After 4 2/3, the Red Sox go to their bullpen. Tonight's aerial coverage in Boston is brought to you by Goodyear. High above Fenway Park with their drone. Tyron Guerrero into the game. 35 years of age. Back in the majors after 6 years away. Stops in Japan, Mexico, AAA, the Dominican Winter League. And he enters the game here facing Alejandro Kirk, but he has a live arm.
He does. I mean, he sits right around 99, 100 miles an hour, induces a lot of ground balls, still gets a punch out. There's certain guys, when you see the size of them, I mean, Guerrero's 6'7". What they have, 6'8"? He's a monster, and for a hitter, the different sizes can change the looks that we're looking for release point.
Kirk, fly ball, right field. Abreu charges, makes the catch. And the Blue Jays again are unable to take advantage of traffic on the base paths.
Well, StatCast is powered by Google Cloud for Trey Savage tonight. He ended up with 17 swings and misses, 9 punch outs, tying a career high, 4 on the four seam, 3 on the slider, 2 on the split. He's been getting a lot more chase because he's been in the strike zone. 71% of the pitches tonight for him with the fastball were strikes. That opened up everything for him with the splitter and slider.
Mason Fluharty, who's been a workhorse for the Blue Jays, will come into the game now as they don't allow Savage with that elevated pitch count to go through the order a third time. Fluharty leads the majors in appearances this season. First pitch swinging, Anthony Siegler, a flare to right field. It hangs up there for Straw. 1 pitch, 1 out.
You can definitely tell why Blue Jays and Blue Jay fans are so frustrated. Just tonight, they've had so many opportunities to at least just put a marker on the board. You get second and third with 1 out. When you know Patrick Sandoval is getting to the end, you have George Springer, and you work your way out of it.
Of all the guys who have had a drop-off, Springer probably the biggest. And I know a lot of focus is on Guerrero, but there are some doubts as to whether Springer's been 100% a good chunk of this year. Missed 15 games with a broken toe after fouling a ball off his foot. Fouled it off the same spot shortly after returning. It's hard to produce when you're in pain. But everybody's had a drop-off. Dalton Varsho, we've talked about it. Where's the power been for him this year? It all adds up to where the Blue Jays are at. Where last year it seemed like they got every single clutch hit. This year, nothing.
Fluharty with the changeup away from Rafaela, where Trish was talking about how he's not going to not chase. Well, he just chased.
I'll bring up Willie Abreu. Part of the winning streak for the Red Sox was Abreu and a run of back-to-back multi-homer games, including the go-ahead eventual game winner in both games. First Red Sox player with back-to-back multi-homer games since Mookie Betts in 2016. I mean, the second game was just ridiculous.
When he gets on fire, he stays on fire. And Abreu, the reigning American League Player of the Week, very much deserving. Nice inning for Fluharty.
Yeah, a couple of strikeouts and a quick inning of that. Back-to-back Ks, and the Red Sox are retired in order. Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to make the game more accessible. To find a league near you, scan the QR code or go to playball.org. Follow on social media. And from official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, MLB Shop has you covered. Go to MLBshop.com or scan the QR code for more. Pinch hitter for the Blue Jays with the lefty Sandoval lifted from the game. And Guerrero remaining in. Nathan Lucas will come off the bench. And he takes up and away 101 from Guerrero.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago when Red Sox were in Colorado, we talked about how many different teams Guerrero's played on. It was 36 professional different teams from different levels, going back to, to your point, Japan, Mexico, minor leagues. And now he's just blowing cheddar with great extension. And he's not walking anybody. And again, we've seen time and time again players leaving the States, leaving professional baseball, going overseas, and then rebounding, finding confidence, finding mechanics, and coming back. Oh my goodness.
Wow. 102.
What did he have against Nathan Lucas? This is just unfair.
Varsho now.
Probably one of the bigger markers we've seen now with the StatCast era is the impact that extension has on players' fastballs. Like you hear about fastball velocity all the time, but it's that extension, that 103. To give you an idea, 103, his extension's right around 7 feet. It's going to play up at least a mile to a mile and a half. So 103, this is closer to 104, 105. That's what makes Jacob Mizorowski so good.
Varsho squares it up a bit. Diving catch is made by Rafaela. Cedon Rafaela laying out to take a hit away from Varsho.
I mean, what an athlete in center field. Your best athlete's usually shortstop. Well, that's Rafaela, who's now in center field. It just hung up there, and then you see the last second, opens up the glove, lays out. Talked about 12 outs above average coming into tonight's game. What a play. And you have to have some wheels to cover Fenway Park.
Oh!
Of all the center fields in baseball, I always felt Fenway Park, because of the angles, the different spots, having to back up with the monster, right field, it is the hardest center field to play.
High chop, left side, Durbin on the run. And a 1-2-3-6 for Guerrero. Great pitching, great defense. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. The 1946 Boston Red Sox, headlined by Ted Williams, but number of all-time greats. Johnny Pesky, Dom DiMaggio.
Well, that was that 1946 team is the one that won 15 straight. And that's the same record that this group has tied. And by the way, 1946, that was peak Ted Williams. And something, when we come as visitors to take batting practice at this ballpark, there's a seat in right field. It is seat 21, row 37, section 42. There's a red seat that apparently Ted Williams hit a home run. And we've seen guys take aluminum bats, try to hit it up there. It's impossible. It's literally impossible. So I did some research on it. It happened in 1946 on June 9th. And this was a day after there was a rain out, crazy weather in Boston. And apparently it was a doubleheader, so game 2 against the Tigers, and the wind was blowing directly out about 40 miles an hour. And that apparently is where Ted Williams hit this ball. Now, the story goes so far as it might have gone 450 feet, not 502 or 520 feet where that red seat currently is.
Strikeout here as Wilson Contreras is fanned by the new pitcher, Braden Fisher.
And the reason why we think it's kind of a bogus seat, but it's also really fun, is that ball hit a fan named Joseph Baird. Hit him in the head with his straw hat. So his hat is in Cooperstown. So what we think happened, it's the only way we can make it make sense, is that it hit Joseph in the head and then landed where that red seat is. That's the only way.
Or Ted Williams hit it 502 feet.
No, he did not. It's David Ortiz.
You are about to anger a large
David Ortiz, Big Poppy.
New England.
Big Poppy even said he couldn't even get it close.
1946 was the first year Ted Williams came back after his World War II service. And there have been numerous Red Sox teams that have flirted with that winning streak. But that was the mark, led by Hall of Fame manager Joe Cronin.
I'm not taking anything away from Ted Williams. He's the greatest hitter that walked the face of the earth, the splendid splinter. But that home run is not real.
If you're haunted by ghosts tonight, I'll know why.
I mean, I did hear our hotel is haunted, so that's fine.
Action in the Red Sox bullpen. Garrett Whitlock has been outstanding for them. 3 balls and a strike to Yoshida, and that's a 5-pitch walk. So 1 aboard. I think Dave O'Brien hit the nail on the head 80 summers ago. It's quite the span to reach history here for a franchise that has so much of it. Fenway Park was only 32 years old. 34, actually, if I'm doing the math in my head. 1912, yeah.
Well, that's what makes baseball so romantic, is that you could be at the lowest point of your season and it can turn around and then you remember it. People in this area, Red Sox fans, will remember 2026 with great memories for a stretch where the Red Sox could not be beat.
Among the explanations, we've detailed them. Pitching got better. Defense tightened up. Started to hit, because they weren't doing any of that earlier. Or maybe it was the World Cup.
World Cup.
The Tartan Army visited here in mid-June. Since their visit,
I know there's one bar that was really happy that they came.
there are a lot of bars in Boston that are really happy. Completely emptied out. But their visit actually lines up with the Red Sox turnaround.
I like it. Well, they also went to Miami, and they helped the Marlins for a little bit in June. All right, I'll put some.
We can credit Scotland.
I'll give some credit.
Full count here at Caleb Durbin. Or maybe it was the Celtics trading away Jaylen Brown. I don't know. It's any number of explanations, but whichever one you want to pick. The Red Sox are right back in the postseason chase. Payoff to Durbin. And that hit. Took one for the team. John Schneider's barking something.
I think he thought it hit his bat. It did not. It hit his top hand.
Pretty clear cut there. Pete Walker is going to have a conversation here with Braden Fisher. So now the Red Sox looking to tack on more. Well, there are new teams involved, new characters. Same Ted. Emmy-winning comedy returns for a new season. And Ted's biggest challenge yet, coaching a second division women's football team. Don't miss Ted Lasso Season 4, streaming August 5th on Apple TV. 2 on, 1 out, bottom 6. Red Sox could be going for the knockout blow here. This Toronto bullpen has been beaten up. Louis Varland pitching on back-to-back days. Tyler Rogers pitching on back-to-back days. They've had to recall a couple of arms from AAA. Trying to keep this within arm's reach. Jarren Duran at the plate, second on the team and runs batted in.
Just based on where the Blue Jays offense is right now, and an extra base hit can act like that jugular run in the 6th inning and pretty much put the game out of hand. We heard Blue Jays yesterday. They played a very nice, clean baseball game. They won 3-1.
A bunch of fans have just gone tarps off in the outfield as Duran goes around here.
Yeah, the tarps off at Fenway Park doesn't work the same as it does in some of the other ballparks where there's empty seats and you can take over a section. There are no empty seats here.
Yeah, well, it's about to take over the entirety of Fenway Park. I mean, everything from the bleachers stretching over to the right field seats on into the pavilion. It may have started in St. Louis, but it caught on around baseball. And Jarren Duran is looking to reward these fans who have removed the articles of clothing. "13 driven in the month of July. Two balls and 2 strikes from Fisher. Duran up the middle. Diving stop made by Clement. He has no play. Everybody's safe, but it saves a run. Infield single for Duran, and the bases are loaded.
Exactly right, Alex, for Ernie Clement at shortstop today. Ranging to his left, and this saves a run. Fisher still has outs, he can get a ground ball, possibly turn a double play. Monasterio can run. Blue Jays going infield in.
Yoshida at third, Durbin at second, Duran at first. Andrew Monasterio. Monasterio to center field. Varsho makes the catch, tagging from third Yoshida. The throw will go to short, and the Red Sox add to their lead.
This is exactly what the Red Sox have been doing during the last month, is manufacturing runs. Quality team at bat, bases loaded, just trying to elevate, get the ball in the air.
Four nothing.
I guess the tarps off rally worked. That or the embarrassed wife or girlfriend.
Long, a base hit to left. Durbin waved around third. Here comes the throw home. He is out at the plate. And the inning is over. Nathan Lucas just into the game and left. Makes a strong throw home on one hop. And Alejandro Kirk applies the tag in time. The Red Sox tack on one. Could have been more. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV is presented by Goodyear. Alongside the 7-year Major League veteran Ryan Spilborghs, Trisha Whitaker down to the field. Alex Faust here with you. You can appreciate this play, Spilly.
Well, it's really difficult when you're in left field to make a perfect throw. It's 94 miles an hour from Nathan Lucas, and it's right on line, and you want to keep that throw low so you give Alejandro Kirk every opportunity to throw the tag down. What a perfect tag, excellent execution, and it keeps the Blue Jays somewhat in this game.
There was just a half-step stumble from Durbin, cutting the pillow at third base. That may have been the difference. Watch here.
There's a little bit of a stumble. Not quite exactly cutting the pillows the way you want. But it was an excellent throw from Nathan Lucas. Even better tag from Alejandro Kirk.
No doubt. And given the offensive struggles of the Blue Jays, as you take a look at the new pitcher, Greg Weissert, facing a pinch hitter in Yohendrick Pinango, every run saved defensively matters. Strike three called at the knees. One gone in the seventh.
Weissert with that backdoor curveball just froze Pinango.
I caught him. So Clement is hit by the pitch. Jays have a base runner with one out. Guerrero 1 for 3 as the wave makes its way around Fenway Park. Festive mood. 14 games under 500 on June 24th. And up 4-0 on a division rival. Just looking at the rest of the division because they're now in the conversation. Yankees beat the Phillies 1-0 tonight. Rays are up 7-1 on Cleveland in the bottom of the 8th, atop the AL East. So New York momentarily a game and a half back. Red Sox are out of challenges, even with that close pitch.
And it would have been a strike. So Guerrero gets an extra pitch.
Terrific hitter here at Fenway Park. And Guerrero lifts one up the middle, dying fast in front of Rafaela. Softly hit liner to center. And the Blue Jays yet again have base runners. Can they do anything with them?
For Guerrero, he pulls his hands in on a sinker, 94 in. And he keeps hitting at Fenway Park. We talked about how active hitters, this is the best guy in baseball in this ballpark. And sometimes a defensive play leads to some momentum, and you're hoping that carries over to this offense right now.
Okamoto, who got out of that 0 for 24 rut with a double in the 5th, and he drills this one to the deepest part of the park. That ball is gone! Just like that, the Blue Jays are right back in it. Kazuma Okamoto with his 23rd homer. That passes Shohei Ohtani's mark for the most by a Japanese-born rookie.
And Okamoto just drove it out to one of the hardest places to hit out in dead center. Blue Jays ever need a big swing. A two-seam fastball stays flat out over the plate. And a flat slot sinker goes a long, long way. Okamoto, he was 0 for 24 before he had a double his last at bat.
He hit safely 9 of his first 10 games in July. Was completely over since the All-Star break until tonight. And the Blue Jays, who had absolutely nothing to show for getting guys on base tonight, with one swing and put up a crooked number. Springer chops one, third base line. It'll bounce foul. Boy, does he want back foul out he had in the 5th. John Schneider's team looking for offense anywhere they can find it.
Nope.
A year ago, he was earning votes for AL MVP.
Springer talked about 2 years ago spending some time with Michael Brantley. Him and Michael Brantley, Dr. Smooth, teammates in Houston. Springer found a routine. He was playing the outfield 2 years ago. Then he transitioned to a DH. He loves it because it's taking care of his body. Found a routine that works.
Game 7 of the ALCS last year. 3-run homer, and the Jays down 3-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Put Toronto ahead for good. And he keep this rally going. Springer pops it up. Shallow center. Rafaela underneath it. And Springer now 0 for 3 on the night. Prior to this inning, Blue Jays offense looked like this since the break. Worst in baseball. Last night against the Rays in their series finale, all the runs driven in came on singles. They just had to have timely hitting. And it was like pulling teeth even to get that. This is a team that in many ways is built to slug when things are going right. Alejandro Kirk was doing plenty of that last year. Career season.
This guy could be the most important to the Blue Jays offense. As much as we key in on Vlad Guerrero, Alejandro Kirk, and it was unfortunate for him to get hurt earlier this year, and the timing just isn't quite back yet when you miss a significant chunk.
Yeah, 62 games. Thumb injury. Fractured left thumb that required surgery. Two-time All-Star. Kirk up the middle. Sliding stop by Monasterio. And he makes the throw in time. Smoothly handled to end the inning. But the Blue Jays finally have a breakthrough. Kazuma Okamoto to deep center field. And we got a ball game here at Fenway in the 7th inning. This weekend, the championship battle continues at one of F1's tightest and most technical circuits. Precision and strategy will be keys to victory. The Hungarian Grand Prix, Sunday, July 26th, 9 a.m. Eastern on Apple TV. Alex Faust, Ryan Spielberg's here with you. We got a game as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning.
I've been looking forward to this matchup for a couple reasons, just because what we saw at Boston at the turnaround, it's been so much fun to watch it because it was so unexpected. And on the other side, this Blue Jays team, especially with the clock, there's a clock in play here. It's an artificial clock, but that August 3rd deadline is looming. And so the Blue Jays, they have to turn it around in a hurry.
August 3rd, 6 o'clock. Tick, tick, tick. To left field, Siegler, that's a fair ball. And it'll kick around in the corner. Anthony Siegler with a 3-hit night. He's a triple away from the cycle. He led off the game for the Red Sox with a home run, and he has his 3rd hit.
You see Jeff Hoffman's changeup. I mean, Siegler is swinging a magic wand. Love his energy, too. Also shows you where the Blue Jays are at right now with Hoffman in the 7th inning. This is a key moment for the Blue Jays to suppress the Red Sox from scoring again.
Oh, it's out of necessity.
We were talking about Louis Varland and Tyler Rogers. I mean, those guys have been worked.
Toronto's bullpen has been responsible for 3 of their last 7 losses. Fouled straight back. Changes for the Blue Jays in the field. Yohendrick Binyango stays in the game to play left. Nathan Lucas slides over to play right. Jeff Hoffman lost the closer's role earlier this season. A couple of years ago, he was an all-star, but has struggled with command and confidence since. Allowed 3 runs on Wednesday. Rafaela, bounding ball to short. Clement makes the play. Rafaela retired. Trish, you have more?
Yeah, guys, despite hitting a 2-run home run earlier in the game when Rafaela struck out and came back to the dugout, he was visibly frustrated with himself. You could see it in his face, in the moment, in his actions. Perhaps it's the perfectionist in him, guys, but then he went out there and immediately did this, an insane sliding grab. But perfectionist or not, guys, he's got so much belief in this team. Listen to what he said to MLB.com. He said, there's something special happening in this clubhouse right now. We don't care how we get it done, who gets the hit, or what the score is in the 8th inning. We just believe that we're going to find a way to win every single night. And guys, he seems to be finding a way tonight with his bat and his glove.
Yeah, he earned an all-star selection this year, Tricia. That was much deserved. #1 outfielder in the American League by outs above average since he became a regular here in Boston, Rafaela. Abreu's not far away, too. Plays a great right. This next generation core for a Red Sox team that even a year ago, remember, didn't look like it was possible for them to be in the postseason. And they found a way after a push through the All-Star break and into September. Lost in the wild card round of the Yankees. Abreu 0 for 3 tonight. A couple of strikeouts.
That's the thing too with the Red Sox. Looking at them again, another team we're focused in on when it comes to trade deadline. The players with their core, that's a pretty impressive list. Now, Roman Anthony will be back, and so will Garrett Crochet at some point. Those are 2 huge pieces.
Full count now to Abreu. I guess the question then, are you willing or able or both to part ways with another name or 2 on this roster?
I think you are. I think you also, you're looking at some of your younger players with that list. You know, 1 or 2 of them maybe are available. Who knows?
Craig Breslow has said so far he wants more information. He wants to get closer to that deadline before committing one way or another. Abreu earns a walk. There are players available. Zach Neto would fill a need for the Red Sox at shortstop.
And it's a very popular name for, you know, people on social media looking at the Red Sox for shortstop, trying to figure out what you do there. Story's still not back, not healthy, hasn't gone on a rehab assignment yet. Neto has pull power, plays a solid defensive shortstop, Marcel Mayer. There's Connolly early.
These are the current injuries for the Red Sox. Now, pitching-wise, they are expected to get these guys back later on this season, but you mentioned it. Tristan Casas shut down, another setback. Trevor Story has yet to start a rehab assignment. Roman Anthony, healing has progressed in the torn tendon in his right finger, but he's still struggling to regain full strength. No rehab schedule for him yet. The Red Sox may have to look outside the organization if they want to push this across the finish line and get back to the postseason. Wilson Contreras, 2 on, 1 out, bottom 7. Hoffman looks back at second base. They'll come home.
Wow.
And a challenge from Alejandro Kirk. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Calls overturned. The runner remains in 2 down.
Contreras against Hoffman. Look at those numbers. 4 for 8, a double and a homer.
Oh no.
Trying to respond to the 3 Toronto put on the board in the top of the 7th.
This is a huge shutdown inning for the Blue Jays, trying to get back in offensive mode.
Contreras had a pitch to hit, and he knew it. Kind of a difficult start to the night. Jammed his finger. Was bothering him for a couple innings. Had it taped up. Then in the field, a miscue and a stumble and a vacant first base. Ball and 2 strikes. Contreras, 3rd in the American League in OPS, entering tonight. Ben Rice and Yordan Alvarez 1st and 2nd.
Well, Hoffman wants to get his good fastball back, but righties are hitting .391 on it this year.
Contreras gets a piece.
And his fastball a season ago is about a mile and a half harder. Has a good carry, has extension, but this year it's not been a good pitch to righties.
Time called. 4 blown saves for Hoffman, who has not pitched in the 9th inning of a game since May 30th, as John Schneider comes out of the dugout to take a look at Alejandro Kirk, who has the glove off, is looking at that surgically repaired left hand. Jose Ministral, lead athletic trainer for the Blue Jays.
Let's see where it caught him.
It was off the thumb of the glove. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Contreras. He fouls this off. Contreras acquired for the Cardinals over the offseason. Red Sox and Cardinals did a lot of business. Chaim Bloom, of course, the former lead baseball officer here with the Red Sox. Another 2-2 on the way from Hoffman. And Contreras with a fly ball to left center. Long way to go for Varsho. And he'll make the catch. Siegler will stay put at second. Contreras thought he could do more with that at bat. Plays with his heart on his sleeve. Two outs, and Yoshida. Yoshida turns on one. If it's fair, it's gone. That ball is foul.
He got a little slider, pulled it down the pesky pole. Didn't miss by much. Great view.
Jumps out of the way here. 97 from Hoffman.
They just overcooked the fastball, trying to get that extra velocity, overthrew it.
Oh.
2-1. Jeff Hoffman, former Red Sox pitcher, pitched 5 times for the Red Sox. Pitched 5 times against the Red Sox, I should say. Not a former Red Sox pitcher.
Oh, 3-1.
Former Philly.
He was originally drafted by the Blue Jays, and then he was traded a long time ago to the Rockies in a Troy Tulowitzki deal.
Strike down the pipe. Took something off of that one.
He goes to the slider, 3-1. Here's the overcooked fastball.
Runners go on 3-2 when it's fouled off.
Yoshida's numbers this year have been much better against left-handed pitching versus right-handed pitching.
Yoshida right at Guerrero. It's off his glove. Foot race to the bag. Nobody's covering. Could have been caught on a line. Could have been a play at first with Hoffman. Instead, everybody's safe.
Let's see here. These plays can be difficult because it has top spin. I mean, it's 100 miles an hour off the bat. You can see it has a little tail to it, so not quite into the glove of Guerrero. And you'll watch Hoffman just a spectator for a second too long.
E3 the score. On the drop ball from Guerrero, but not clean.
Here's a play. You can see the movement on it. I mean, that's 100 miles an hour right off the palm of your glove. He missed the webbing.
What can Caleb Durbin do here? High strike. Red Sox have no challenges.
Anytime you see a reliever in an inning where the pitch counts over 25, that's usually where the damage happens. Hoffman at 28, next pitch will be 29.
Durbin pops this foul.
And the reason why, you know, an elevated pitch count for relievers, it's just mislocation. Velocity usually never goes away, but it's a lot of energy because most relievers are sprinters. So you start getting 25, 26. The body and the mechanics aren't quite in sync, and that's when they make their mistakes.
Durbin grounds it right back to Hoffman. And he'll make the flip to end the threat. Red Sox leave the bases loaded. Goodyear. And in part by Meineke, doing car care right. 8th inning. 1-run game. Red Sox make a pitching change. Garrett Whitlock. Boy, has he been locked down for the Red Sox lately?
You're not kidding. The last 2 years, Garrett Whitlock or Aroldis Chapman have been arguably the best 1-2 reliever punch in baseball.
Fly ball left field from Nathan Lucas, and this will bounce off the monster. He's going to dig for 2, and he's there. Lead-off double for Lucas.
That's why it was so important for the Blue Jays to get out of last inning, keeping the score where it is. They scored 3 in the top of the 7th with Okamoto's 3-run shot, and now Nathan Lucas, a leadoff double. Curious to see how the Blue Jays will try to manufacture this run. If we just let Dalton Varsho try to pull it.
Dueling chants in the stands. A lot of Blue Jays gear dotting the seats around Fenway Park. Dalton Varsho here, leadoff man in scoring position. 2-hit night for Varsho, a pair of singles in the 2nd and the 4th. Fouls this straight back at 95.
Well, to lefties, Whitlock sinker's his go-to pitch. It's basically 3 pitches: sinker, changeup, and the slider.
Varsho lines one to right. That is down for a base hit in front of Abreu. Good throw in. That prevents a run from coming home. Blue Jays with a tying run 90 feet away with nobody out in the 8th.
There's a changeup. It stays out over the plate. You can see Varsho's just trying to get the ball on the right side. He gets rewarded with the base hit. Totally tell he was looking to hook the baseball towards second base.
Andres Jimenez picks up a bat, comes off the bench.
Oh, it's in. Right out here.
Close pitch there. Jimenez with a drive to center field, sending Rafaela back. He turns around, makes the catch. Lucas will tag from 3rd and head home, and the Blue Jays have come back to tie it. A sac fly for Andres Jimenez, and the usually reliable Whitlock concedes the tying run.
Now John Schneider just pulled the right card to play with Andres Jimenez, and the Blue Jays manufacture a much-needed run. Saw a pitch inside, in off the plate. This time he gets an elevated fastball. He had 2 nice team at bats, Varsho and then Jimenez.
Piñango recently recalled from AAA. Pinch hit for Miles Straw in the 7th.
Challenge in the pitch.
Piñango doesn't like that call.
I think he thinks it was inside, but the changeup worked itself back in for a strike.
Call confirmed. Toronto has 1 challenge remaining.
Now the Blue Jays down to 1 challenge. bluff from
no.
first, and
Good go.
Piñongo went around. A 24-year-old rookie from Venezuela rung up.
It's only the 6th punch out of the Blue Jays tonight. That's a much-needed one for Whitlock.
Whitlock, who hadn't allowed a run since June 23rd. That series against the Colorado Rockies, which was just before seemingly the turning point for the Red Sox. 13 appearances without a run allowed, and now a fly ball to right. Clement will be retired, but the Blue Jays have come all the way back from 4-0 down to tie this game. Now the bases are loaded. Strike 3 called, and it's gone. Leadoff homer for Anthony Siegler. That got out in a hurry.
Home run.
Diving catch is made by Rafaela. The most by a Japanese-born rookie. We head to the 8th as we welcome you back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Goodyear. The bottom of the 8th, that is, as C.J. Van Eyck comes out of the bullpen for Toronto. Just his 2nd big league appearance, made his debut last week.
Hey, talking about getting thrown into the fire. Part of this, you see Andres Jimenez now at shortstop, and Clement moves over to second. Blue Jays, from a bullpen standpoint, they're short tonight. So you're gonna have to rely on an arm or two that normally doesn't pitch in this spot.
Rogers and Varland both likely down for John Schneider after pitching on back-to-back days.
Oh.
And Mako, another recall this week.
Push.
The benefit you also have when you have a reliever that doesn't have a lot of outings is hitters, this is the first time facing him. Curveball, changeup, four-seam cutter, that's the mix.
Duran punches this the other way to lead off the 8th. A wide turn and a strong throw from Piñongo.
A little fastball, inside-out swing from Duran, and now he's on base. And you got speed aboard. Duran has 14 steals on the season. And he's going to look to move. Now this is where the Red Sox, they talk about being creative with their offense.
Monasterio at the plate. Okamoto in on the grass at 3rd. Strike 1.
Let's go for Jarren Duran, Long Beach State. One of the college coaches, TJ Bruce, and his family, coaching out at Long Beach State, in attendance, watching Duran.
How aggressive would you be sending Duran here?
Again, you're trying to figure out time. So you've seen 3 pitches, 2-1 count. I mean, I like being as aggressive as you're comfortable being. And if Duran feels like he has a tell, has an idea of the rhythm, I let him go.
Stays put. Monasterio pops it off the hands. And Guerrero off first makes the catch.
Well, now for sure, in the first 3 pitches, I would expect to see Durant move.
Looks like the Red Sox are going to have a pinch hitter here. Blue Jays have allowed a lot of stolen bases. Romy Gonzalez picks up a bat. Now with nobody out, it would have been a situation for the Red Sox to perhaps try a sacrifice. That's been part of their game plan as the season has gone on. Chad Tracy was telling us earlier that they started executing on them early in the year, and then especially when they were at their low point. And they started to get buy-in from the group in manufacturing runs. Manufactured 1 in the 6th, made it 4-0 at the time. Could have been more, but for a strong throw from Nathan Lucas to get Caleb Durbin in the 6th inning.
Kirk is an excellent receiver behind home plate and has a very quick exchange, and he's accurate. So you have to get a good jump if you're Durant. You have to. Take a peek. It's the second time they've picked over it back-to-back at bats. So they're well aware of Durant's speed.
Romy Gonzalez frequently used as a pinch hitter. Former waiver claim from the Red Sox, January of 2024. Gonzalez to left field and into the corner. Durant flying around second. They're waving him home. The throw will be cut off, and the Red Sox take the lead. Romy Gonzalez off the bench. A pinch hit. Go ahead, RBI double.
Great piece off the bench. You get a fastball you can handle. You rip it down the left field line. Now you have no directional control, but the way this ball goes into the corner, now you get to watch Durant and his crazy legs. He can cut the pillows. He is so efficient, right? Rounding the third base into home, no play whatsoever. So you didn't need to steal because Durant's speed comes into play.
Now Siegler, a triple shy of the cycle. Start of the night with a bang. Siegler to left field. That ball is off the monster and will kick off a Pinango. That'll drive in another run. What a night for Anthony Siegler. Maybe his biggest as a big leaguer. 4 hits, 2 driven in, 6-4 Boston.
They start playing Neil Diamond in the 8th inning, and now it's hands touching hands. 2 runs, and they're doing it against a reliever that normally would never be put in this position.
Oh.
Rafaela and the Red Sox looking for a knockout blow. What a night for this young man. Out straight back by Rafaela. The Red Sox for the season are still 22nd in baseball in runs scored. But that has seen a massive jump during this run and during their winning streak, where they averaged nearly 6 runs per game, had a plus 56 run differential. Hit 257 as a team.
Big two.
Late call and no recourse for Rafaela. This team that didn't hit home runs all of a sudden had 23 of them during that streak. Double-digit hits 7 times. And whether it's increased confidence, increased buy-in, everybody on this team started producing.
They started playing like a team.
Rafaela battling.
That is why baseball, you cannot predict it. It's impossible. Because you never know, once a team gels and things come together and they buy in and they start playing for one another.
Rafaela to left field. They're going to hold up Siegler. And they keep moving the line. John Schneider is going to make a pitching change before this gets any uglier. After coming back to tie it, Blue Jays now find themselves behind again. Ben Stiller, starring Jake Johnson. Don't miss The Dink. When a washed-up tennis pro tries to save a struggling country club, he does the unthinkable and takes up pickleball. Now streaming on Apple TV. I'm a tennis player, so.
In the kitchen?
Stay out of the kitchen. That's the point. Adam Mako out of the bullpen. And first pitch. Swinging for William Abreu. Pops it up to right. To second base, I should say, and Clement is underneath it.
Abreu just did Mako a favor. That's a tough spot to come in. Dirty inning, first and third. And chase a pitch. A little bit off the plate with the slider.
Rookie, born in Slovakia. Has a lot of family connections in Canada. Played high school baseball in Alberta.
Interesting.
Okay, they're going to put on Contreras.
It's interesting for a couple reasons. It's hard to get a hit with 2 outs. And even though Contreras, the damage he's done against lefties this year is pretty noticeable. 295, over 1,000 OPS. And it brings up Yoshida. So you get the left-on-left matchup, but then they're going to use a pinch hitter. So it brings up Jahmai Jones, who is a notorious lefty killer.
Jones acquired from the Tigers for a player to be named later. And what's interesting is that he's struggled against left-handed pitching this year. But I guess the splits or some underlying metrics tell them that he's a better choice than Yoshida. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Struggled against all kinds of pitching for that matter.
Anytime you load the bases with 2 outs, your margin for error is so small. And even though you might be avoiding the tougher matchup, it's not that much easier.
Jones strikes out. Bases are left loaded. For the Blue Jays, that's good news. They've got the heart of their order due up. Red Sox are up by 2 as we head to the 9th. Let's look at tonight's aerial coverage and the best of it. Brought to you by Goodyear, our drone above Fenway Park. Tell you what, we're banking some of these scenic shots tonight.
Take postcards out of them.
Yeah. Our operator, Matt, downstairs at the controls. And at the controls now for the Red Sox is one of the all-time great relievers in Aroldis Chapman, who is now the all-time record holder for strikeouts by a relief pitcher. New catcher into the game is Carlos Narvaez.
On the season for Chapman, 23 saves. He has 390 career saves. 38 years old.
th big league season.
Still one of the most incredible athletes I've ever seen, especially early in his career. If he was to race anybody, he would be the fastest player on the field. And there's stories of Aroldis Chapman, and at the time when he was with the Reds, Billy Hamilton, the fastest player in the sport. Aroldis could beat him.
Chapman now with 1,371 strikeouts in his big league career.
His career strikeout percentage is 39%.
And he could still touch triple digits, even at age 38. And you mentioned it, the 1-2 punch between Whitlock and Chapman. Fly ball here from Guerrero. Will it reach the seats? It will. This Red Sox bullpen, incredible during their winning streak. Jonathan Papelbon was doing one of the Nesson postgame shows. He said this bullpen as a group is better than any of the ones he was part of when the Red Sox were winning their championships. High praise. Another 2-2.
Oh, 3-2 here.
Those numbers are incredible.
Guerrero stays alive.
Guerrero's swing tonight has looked under control. Two for 4 on the night. He's going to get another challenge fastball. Aroldis does not want him on base with the walk.
That is ball 4. Here comes Okamoto. 3-run homer in the 7th as we take a look at our game summary and cap off the night presented by Bloom Moon. This brought the Blue Jays right back in the game off of Greg Weisser in the 7th. A home run that was number 23 on the season, passing Shohei Ohtani for the most by a Japanese rookie. Chapman pulls the string. Breaking ball, inducing a whiff. Okamoto represents the tying run, leading the Blue Jays and runs batted in. And he drills this one foul.
One of the big things with Okamoto, and we see this from guys first year coming from the MPB, they're usually not tied up right away on fastballs. Well, that's not the case with Okamoto. Okamoto came out ready to hit fastballs.
Chapman fans it.
Now, Okamoto was not ready for this fastball, and believe it or not, this is his sinking fastball at 98, and it just has so much movement. He's been throwing that pitch the last couple of years, his sinking fastball for punch-outs at the top of the zone.
Now Springer.
Most of the time you see Chapman's fastball, you're assuming when he does get the swing and miss, it's on the 4-seam fastball. That's not true.
Still uncomfortable after all these years.
I mean, he's just... He added the wrinkle of the split finger, which was the last pitch he just threw. He started throwing the 2-seam fastball at the top. He's evolved.
Springer in the air to center. Rafaele is there. And Aroldis Chapman is now 1 out away from passing one of the greats. He's looking for career save number 391, which would pass Dennis Eckersley. 8 seasons over 2 stints for the Red Sox, and a beloved figure for so many years as a part of their broadcast crew. Chapman looking to get into 9th place alone on the all-time saves list. Alejandro Kirk, the last hope for the Blue Jays.
Wow, 2 over here.
Narvaez signaling to Chapman. Settle down.
Hard.
On the corner for strike 1.
2-0, he goes to the slide.
There goes the runner as Kirk fouls this back. Now the Blue Jays are down to their final strike.
Kirk is another one of those Blue Jays hitters so difficult to strike out.
Good to her.
Strikeout rate for Kirk this year is 13%.
Guerrero taking second. Chapman will disengage. Payoff. Kirk stays alive. 3-2. Back to the slider.
I feel like that's the command pitch for Chapman, where he can get back into a count. We saw it on a 2-0 count. Feels like that's the pitch he could throw for a strike. He also knows Kirk's not one to really chase on a high fastball.
The Red Sox keep rolling. A 2-run eighth to put them on top, and maybe the start of another streak.
Alex, it's amazing. A month ago, this team was 14 games below 500. In a month, they have spun the entire baseball world on its head. They had to. Now they've turned into a wagon.
They keep pace with the rest of the division after wins from the Rays and the Yankees tonight. And you want to talk about spinning on its head? The Blue Jays continue to lack answers. And Aroldis Chapman with career save number 391. All-time names on this list. Two who are still active in Kenley Jansen and Craig Kimbrell. But Chapman, one of the greats. A 6-4 final with Chapman getting the save. What a night, though, for Anthony Sigler. His first career 4-hit game, the leadoff homer to start things off. And our PNC play of the game is actually two plays. Solo homer leading off the game, and then the go-ahead double in the 8th that gave the Red Sox the lead for good. And he's downstairs with Trisha Whitaker.
All right, Anthony, have yourself a night. We were just talking about it. That was your best game in the big leagues. You were a triple short of the cycle. What were you seeing behind the plate tonight?
Just trying to put good barrel on the ball. That's it. Really take it pitch by pitch, and then get my teammates in a good position to where they can execute and just get on, and then, just score from there.
We know you've been grinding through the last couple weeks. How did it feel to have a performance like that tonight?
It felt great. It felt great. All glory to God, and just having great people around me, my teammates, coaches, picking me up. Baseball's a grind, and we got a long season, so they reminded me of that, and then I was able to take a step back and and just like I said, just take it pitch by pitch.
Gonzalez with that pinch hit, Jarren Duran speeding around the bases. How impressive was that string of events?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, for Romy to come off the bench and then get that clutch double, I mean, that's huge for us. I mean, that was a huge momentum shift right there. And then for JD to get on and then Romy get him in, I mean, you got to love that.
This team has won 21 of your last 24. We've heard so many times what makes it special. You're shaking your head. You know it's incredible. Are you guys soaking in how special this is right now?
Oh yeah, we are. We're just taking it game by game. I mean, we're obviously living in the moment, but obviously now it's on to the next. Turn the page quick and then get ready for tomorrow.
Can you believe this is the same team that was once 15.5 games back in the East?
I mean, I can believe it. I mean, this is what we do. We knew this is what we're capable of, and we're going to keep on doing it.
We appreciate the time. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Tricia, the go-ahead double from Gonzalez and then the RBI double from Ziegler to put this game to bed, and they are still struggling to find solutions in Toronto. The reigning pennant winners may be taking their last gasp in the playoff chase. The Red Sox, however, keep rolling. 6-4 the final at Fenway. We'll be right back.